Well, very good morning. Welcome one and all to Bike Racing Without Mercy. Or should I say Bike Racing with Mercy? Because I'm hoping for a bit of mercy when I get dropped within about 30 seconds. It's going to be fun looking at the back end or the tail end of Titanium Ben's wheel, Paul Hamlet's wheel. And if he's racing, I think they're both racing, sorry. Peter McMillan might also be racing as well, but often he doesn't get out of bed until late. Anyway, this is the first ever live stream on the new, well not the new, the version 1 kicker. Here it is. You can see it. Don't worry. The trusty Atom. Oh dear. I think I might have just... I've just lost this. Oh dear, sorry. One second, sorry. My apologies. Another slick stream. Seem to have lost the webcam here. Bear me a second. Dear, oh dear. Come on, Philip. Right. It's gone to USB camera. Oh dear, what am I doing now? Why is it not? Oh, one second. I've got to get off the bike. Dear, oh dear. Sorry, my apologies. Come on, Philip. Why is it not now recognising the camera? No, not OBS virtual camera. It was all working perfectly. And now it's not. Just because I pick the camera out. Come on, Philip. This is not difficult. All you're doing is pointing a camera. Slick. Oh, it's... Why is it not showing? Right. Configure. Come on. Very good morning to everybody. Apologies. You'll see... Well, you can't see me. Discard the changes. Come on. Right. Video capture. Come on, OBS. Don't fail me now. Oh! There we go. There we go. Look, let's do it very gently. Look, you can see here. There it is. The Watt Bike Atom Generation 2 is not in use, but here, let's get it nicely. There we go. The kicker core, the kicker bike is in use. There we go. That was unnecessarily difficult. Unnecessarily. I don't think we've got long till we start. Anyway, so very good morning to everybody. Thank you very much for joining. As I say, it is Bike Racing Without Mercy on a Saturday morning, but I need a fair bit of mercy in all honesty, because, well, Peter McMillan, Titanium Ben Pitt, Paul Hamlet are racing, plus a large number of other much better riders than I in this race. So I think I'm going to be seeing, well, their rear wheel very quickly. Hey Car, you looking forward to your max effort up the Alp? Maybe with Katie, maybe we're not without, maybe without Katie, and a few of the other Titanium Burrito Titans. Sorry, head is not good this morning. All over the place. There's no sound now. Oh. Is there sound now, Jane? Oh, crikey. Is there sound? Oh, sound is fine. All right, there we go. Okay, so let's start again. Very good morning to everybody. 4 tiny races. Me getting dropped. What? The kicker version 1 is now up and running. Paul Hamlet kindly came and set it up for me. Because I couldn't move it. The back brace is still firmly on. Other than when I'm indoors on the bike. Hoping to get it off mid-November, but I was hoping to get it off August. I was hoping to get it off September. So we will see. Thank you very much, mateman. I appreciate that. Oh dear. Anyway, the reason I'm doing this is because I want to start getting back up to race fitness. And by race fitness, I mean some VO2 max. These 4 races, as I discovered before I went on holiday, are amazing for making you build your VO2 max. Now in the lab, my most recent VO2 max was about 300 watts. That's top end VO2 max. And that would compare to about 350 before I had the accident. Now while I built my endurance power, my lactate threshold 1 back to about 200, 210 versus 225, and my FTP is gradually coming up, my anaerobic threshold, I haven't done really very much at all for the VO2 max. Nick Brownbill, very best of luck to you, and of course Ed Laverack at the weekend at the National Hill Climbing Championships. Hope you enjoy it. Don't go too hard on the lower inclines. Save the power for the steeper ones. I know the top boys, they ride a consistent power throughout, but you'll be quicker going harder on the steep bits. Oh, only 14 seconds to start the race. I'm dual recording. God, this is a proper awful live stream start, isn't it? I'm dual recording, so here we go. Now I remember last time I got dropped really quickly at the start. So hoping to stay in the pack for a bit longer. Ooh, didn't get dropped. Yeah, Katie would have won by now. Katie Looker. She did extremely well last night in the Zwift Grand Prix. Congratulations, Katie. It feels good. Feels good, Ian. Both feel good. Now, I've only ridden it once before. And I should say, right now, fully transparent, I think the kicker bike, dear me, gives me about 10 watts more than the Vera Aciomas. This is proper up. I think I'm on the wrong bike. I should have had the Tron. Forgot to change it. Thank you all for joining. Hugely appreciated. Please like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Wowee. Dear me. Oh, I've lasted 2 kilometres without getting dropped. Wowee. Oh, thank you. More or less go. Didn't see that. Oh, cheers, man. Cheers, everybody. Oh. 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 Apologies. I forgot to stop the blow. I will try and put a dual recording up, but definitely I think we'll find that the kicker gave me 10 watts more than the Axiomas, and the Axiomas were giving me 10 watts more than the Atom Generation 2. So that isn't all fitness improvement, let's put it that way. Oh dear. And this is why dual recording, you know, for the top end WTRL and Premiership racing so important. Yeah, cheat alert, cheat alert. Oh, thank you all very much. Only 3 more to go, that's right, Ben. Well, I'm really happy with that. Irrespective of the 10 watts better performance here on the, what's it called, the watt bike, not the watt bike, the Giga Core. I was way over my VO2 max on the Axiomas throughout that. Probably about, I'd estimate 320 power. And I haven't done anything like that in a long, long time. So it felt good, and it's partly, well, a lot, because of the live chat and doing it in a race environment. And this is why I'm saying these tiny races are really good for those of us who are trying to build a bit more top end power and become a bit more competitive once again in Zwift as we go into the main Zwift racing season. Thank you, I really appreciate that. Yeah, 25% down, Katie. And people, this is Katie Looker. Did amazing last night in the Ladies Grand Prix. She won, I think, one of the races, albeit they gave her second. But when you look at the photo finish, her wheel was over the line first. A proper force of nature. Yeah, the lactate mumbly. Yeah, the fairies are here. Mick, the fairies are well and truly here. Oh dear. Oh. She won 3 of 4. I didn't see. My apologies, Katie. 3 out of 4. I've never won a Zwift race in my life. 3 out of 4 is a bit greedy, I think you can agree. Everybody, can we agree? Katie's a little bit greedy. 3 out of 4. There's no need for that. Hey Agnes, nice one on 2 proper hard trainings yesterday. The flappage. What's the flappage? Yeah, so I think if I do a live stream tomorrow of a climbing race, I will look at the dual power and then I will increase my weight to offset the power benefit of the kicker versus the Axiomas in order for there to be realistic kind of competition. Well, say competition, I still get dropped even with the extra power. But the main reason I like Zwift and training indoors is that the power indoors translates to outside. So I'd love to win a race, very unlikely. So I'd much prefer kind of a realistic experience, as it were. Ooh. Oh, yeah, definitely, Katie. The Italians, they know about bike racing. More so than the Americans, I would argue. Therefore, if they say you won, you won. Oh, the graph, yeah. Good point. How do I get to... So I get to join the event. I'm in the event, right. If I go to exit, the graph. If I go to exit, where do I go for the graph? 5 minute power 326. Oh, I fluffed it. Oh, okay. If I go back, yeah, I can't exit. I did fluff it. I think I needed to exit in the last one. Yeah, don't do it yet. There's like a slow-mo motion. It's like, whoa, no, don't press end ride. Morning, Matthias. Right, anyway, there was a lot of red in it. My FTP is about 250, 255 based on the Alpe de Zwift climb, but also what I was doing in, what's it called, when we were in California. I did this climb a lot, Atlas Peak Mountain, and over about a 40-minute climb without the back brace. I did 1 rep without the back brace. My average power was 256, 257. So, oh, I need to go to back. Oh, we're starting soon. I can't believe it's starting so soon. I can't believe it. I could almost cry. Hey, Palmeret. Oh, Andy Bike, you're on the way home. Oh no. I thought you were on the way out when you said from the tarmac. We all prefer going out on holiday. Coming back's harder. I hope you have a soft landing and an easy first week back at work, not school. Work. Yeah, David, FFS. Right. So I've got to ramp the power. I'll go to turn off the pause. Right, ramp the power. Remember to ramp the power, Philip. Ramp the power. I've got no idea what course this is. Could someone help me? See, I'm not getting dropped. Not right from the off. Oh, maybe I am. Maybe I am. I think this might be Alpe de Zwift. Is this Alpe de Zwift? Oh. Why am I doing 300 watts downhill? Oh, because we're not going downhill yet. God, I'm ruined. That first one ruined me. Oh, dear me. Cheers all. Oh, I forgot to unpause. If you like the video, please like and subscribe. That was indeed how. Yeah. Oh. Right, let's have a look at that one then. Right, so if I go menu and ride timeline. Yeah, that's how it felt. Yeah, thank you very much, Ian. You're down right there. You're way right there. Oh, dear me. My lactate is almost as high as my irritation was with Liz Truss as Prime Minister. Not quite. The irritation with Liz Truss was higher. Dear me. Hey Graham, how's it going? I think I don't know what my critical power is, Mick. I'm going to do a test on that actually, as it happens, with Adam at Oxford Laboratory. There's more than one test. But those last two rides, even when we look at the aciomas, will certainly be higher than I've managed in a hell of a long time. Yes, the topical burn. Bit of economics and politics in the lactate. Yeah, there is a blood test for Liz Truss. It's called actually a bloodletting by the Conservative Party. It's where she gets elected, makes a complete mess of the economy and the UK population and economies, fiscal, monetary, and, well, just general political credibility. And then the Conservatives have a massive lactate-induced bloodletting where their political lactate hits a peak. They force her out after only 44 days. I'm not going to even say bless her, and she better give that $115,000 a year back to the taxpayer. If she takes that, I'll be apoplectic with rage. And then the lactate is starting to get below the anaerobic threshold, i.e. they're just about able to clear it, but it could quite easily dip back up because Rishi Sunak appointed I forget her second name, but reappointed the Home Secretary after a mere plethora of security breaches with email and personal email, which would have got any other individual sacked from their company, including my company. It's called a material risk event. There we go. A political capital FTP is vanity, yeah. Oh, anyway, 1 second. Better go to the race, hadn't I? Oh, no, what have I done here? Can I go back? Back. Can I go to... Did you already... Look at this! Slick, I nearly went out of Zwift. Dear me. Believe me, Mick, I am the ultimate space cadet. I do none of this on purpose. Before I started the live stream, I hadn't warmed up very much when you saw me. I'd done a couple of hard efforts, that was it. I managed to spill my electrolyte powder all over the floor from the kitchen all the way upstairs. So rather than a warm up, I was sweeping the floors and then getting a little dustpan and brush to put it all in the bin. That is my world. That is how I can always grab defeat from the jaws of, not victory, victory is never in my grasp, but from the jaws of semi-acceptable. Oh dear, I've got no, this is, New York. We can't be in New York. Anywhere but New York. Anywhere but New York. I always get dropped in New York really quickly. Daz Carter's up at the front end of the race. It's Titanium Ben, Paul Hamblett and Peter McMillan. Oh dear. Oh, I could almost cry that there's another race. I could literally cry. And then I think to the fact there's actually... Oh, I haven't had the fan on. There we go. That must be worth another 10 cheating wallets, having my fan on. 30 seconds to go. There can't be 30 seconds to go. There can't be. There's got to be more than 30 seconds. Lord, give me more than 30 seconds. I deserve at least 2 minutes more. 2 more minutes, please. Please, God. 2 more minutes. I'm going to start it properly this time. I'm going to make sure I hit. Hey, Nixter's here. Broken leg, repairing well, sir. Good to see it. Oh, dear me. You can try and ramp the power. Give the video a like and please subscribe. Oh, dear me. Dear me. more gas than Nord Stream. Very good. Very good. Oh, that was just shy of 10 minutes of hell. I've never felt safe. Oh, no. See, I'm not doing it. This is my natural habitat, Mick. Chaos. I need to go back and to join the event. Only 3.5 minutes. There can't be 3.5 minutes. That's what happens when you fall out of the pack. Katie, you asked about the draft. And there's new draft dynamics in Zwift. Brand new. I think open today. And so what do I think to the new draft dynamics? Well, naturally, of course, I was always one for getting dropped and having to time trial in Zwift, and no doubt still will be. But I've got to be honest with you. The power I'm having to put out to try and stay in the draft seems like a lot higher than it was before the change. That's just my high-level observation. Oh, thank you very much, everybody. I really appreciate this. You can't feel any different. Oh, I don't know in that case, Paul. I mean, the trouble is, it's such a high-end race in terms of those at the front. The power I personally have to put down is so on the limit, whether it's 280 watts, 300 or 320, that, to be honest, I'm not the best person probably to opine on the impact of the draft. Thank you very much, Paul. Glad you enjoyed the Chilterns taking on Whiteleaf, the climb with a sting in its tail. Many is a time I've gone to Whiteleaf thinking, yeah, I'll do 5 times 6 or 7 minutes at 320. Only to find that I do 2 at 320 and the rest in the sub 300s. It's a horrid climb for some reason. Oh, A minute 48. This is literally an exquisite kind of pain. Yeah, so it feels quite nice actually as the kicker comes up with the climb, and that's why I'm going to do a climbing race tomorrow, because as I said last time around when I did the tiny races, I do sometimes often find that if I do some VO2 max one day, the threshold becomes quite nice the next. Paul Hamlet refers to, of course, the Zwift phenomenon of sticky watts. There is the ability, I understand, but I have never tried it. I might give it an experiment, but I won't ever use it because it doesn't mimic real life. But if you do like 400 watts for 3 seconds and then drop back to sort of 200 watts, the way the Zwift kind of algorithm works is it will think you're doing like 350 or something like that over the the 3 seconds you do the 400 and maybe 5 or 6 that you're at 200. And if you keep doing that, you average a higher power overall in Zwift, not in real life, and therefore people that use sticky watts can win races. A bike chain. It's too late now. Very good idea, Paul. Yes, a bike change would have been a good idea, I think, on this course, but also the one with where we barely climbed any about the Zwift. Okay, resume. Here we go. Oh, I'm in the wrong gear. On the kicker bike, the gears are the same as Dura race, and because the watt bike you haven't got a big ring and a little ring, I keep forgetting to change up and down the gears. Now I'm done. Yeah, dropped. It's too much. Oh. No, this is too much. Apologies. Right. Right, let's try and rebeat the diesel. Three out of 4. Yeah, 3 top 100s rather than 3 firsts out of 4. No. I want to race again tomorrow. So I'm just gonna take it easy here. Spin the legs a little bit, have a chat. But overall, despite this, I've got to say, thank you all very, very much for the support. it gave me much better fitness than I had expected. I say fitness because, as I say, I think the power is 10 watts lower on this than you've seen on the screen, courtesy of the kicker bike. But the fitness and also a bit of the mental fortitude was stronger than I'd hoped, and the mental fortitude is very much down to the live chat. I'd have probably stopped at 2 races. I had 6 days off the bike following holiday because the jet lag from California was horrendous, and I had to go straight away to Frankfurt with work, and my sleep had been horrendously disrupted. Up until last night, I had a good night's sleep last night. Yeah, I think about 20 watts difference to the Watt Bike Atom Generation 2, Ian. I think it's about, looking at the power as I was glancing at it, about 10 watts different to the Favera Aciomas, and they were about 10 watts different in the one kind of trial that I've done on the kicker bike. You're right, Martin. They're not the best, because even in the recoveries, the heart rate, well, and the breathing seems a bit laboured. But I gotta recommend these. I'm gonna keep doing them. I won't live stream every one of them, but I'm gonna keep doing them because I'd like to become, sufficiently race fit that I could do not just a climbing race, but maybe some of the flatter ones, more punchy ones. I need to figure out whether or not Zwift will read the Favera Aciomas. I've tried it once, but it didn't seem to work. I don't know if anyone's got any ideas on that. Well, I haven't swapped. I've still got the Generation 2 Atom, and I will still use that because I love it. We're going to sell the Generation 1 Atom, not at a very high price. If anyone would like to buy a Generation 1 Atom that has been very nicely serviced, and when the engineer last looked at it at the service in October last year, and it hasn't been ridden a lot since October last year, he said it was very clean inside. But I'll do you a very good price indeed if you can pick it up. But I have to say, if it did break down, I really didn't intend that to happen. I really don't think it will happen based on the servicing. Anyway, that's by the by. Not looking to palm my Generation 1 Atom off on you. The reason I've gone to include the kicker bike is because I'm going to be doing a lot more training indoors than outdoors, I think, including in the spring. I really enjoy riding outside, but where the traffic is really light. So in California, I rode 2 climbs. One was in Palm Springs on a really hot day, 30 to 45 degrees, where we climbed. There's basically a tramway that takes you to the top of a very beautiful mountain, right in the middle of the desert. And there's a tramway climb. It's about 6 kilometers, average gradient 9.4%. I did that about 3 or 4 times. Super quiet road early in the morning. It doesn't go anywhere other than a tramway. And then where we were staying in Napa in California, I've got to say I fell out of love with Napa. I've been before, but it seems to have lost all of its charm. There's way too much money in California as a result of what was the the technology boom. And Napa was quite a long way up its own arse. But there's a climb just near where we were staying called Atlas Peak Road that goes up Atlas Peak Mountain. It's a 13-kilometer climb and it goes to a dead end, so very few cars. So I did that a lot, the lower half and the full climb. But there's not much like that near me in the UK. Quite busy roads, and so I want to get better at climbing, and so this kicker seemed like a good idea to do that. And they've got them down at, I got like 30% off it when I bought it in the summer, and they've got the kicker bike one back at 30% off now. So it was very, very stupidly expensive at £3,300, and it's very expensive at £2,100. But after the crash, I thought it was a good investment to make, which means I don't necessarily know if I need both my other bikes, my road bikes. I may try a crit at Hog Hill in the Masters in the winter on my Colnago, if the back is healing well, because it's quite a safe crit in the Masters. You don't get people dive bombing you and all this kind of stuff, and because it's a big hill, all the attacks really come on the hill, where obviously life is a lot slower. Oh, thank you very much, Ian. I appreciate that. So the kicker bike. Sorry, Paul. Yeah, so I'm just rambling because I'm away with the fairies. The kicker bike, I reckon, is about 20 watts more than the Atom Generation 2, and the Atom Generation 2 was about 10 watts lower than the Asiamas. Therefore, I think the kicker bike, what I was seeing there on the screen and what I saw in the previous trial run on it, is about 10 watts higher than the Asiamas. And because I use the Asiamas outside, and because the main reason I train indoors is so that hopefully I can become a better rider outside, this is my golden source. So tomorrow I'll look at the dual power, or tonight I'll look at the dual power recording, see what the difference is, and I'm going to adjust up my weight. If I'm using the power source of the kicker bike, or per in, if I can use the Asiamas, I'll use that instead, because I don't want to have 10 watts more than I ought to have. And the Asiama is about 10 watts more than the Watt Bike Pro. So anybody that thinks any one power meter is some kind of super accurate thing, I've been lucky enough to have Asiamas, 2 pairs. Both of those read on the OEM settings exactly the same. I've had a Generation 1 Atom that reads 6 watts higher than the Asiamas. I've had a Generation 2 Atom that reads 10 watts lower than the Asiamas. I've got a Watt Bike Pro that also reads 10 watts lower than the Asiamas. And now I've got a kicker that reads 10 watts higher than the Asiamas. Go figure. You know, until the power meter manufacturers can actually admit that this plus or minus 1% accuracy is absolute BS, indoor racing on Zwift is a bit of a lottery as to who's got a good power meter. Like the Saris trainer, apparently, not that I've used it, is renowned for being generous on the power. Diesel shortage is about to hit the... no, I hadn't heard about that. Yeah, I mean, it's a funny old time. Well, I say funny, it's not funny. If only it was funny. It's a mad old time in terms of the geopolitical and economic situation. You know, because we're having a mild October, maybe a mild November, hopefully the gas storage across Europe and the UK won't be run down as quickly as maybe it otherwise would, and that will keep the gas prices lower than had been feared. Still much higher, more than twice what they had been obviously before the energy crisis, and then obviously the Ukraine war. And gas prices, not gas prices, petrol prices, oil prices and diesel had been coming down. But of course, OPEC, which includes Russia and obviously the Saudi Arabians, put one finger up to George Biden following his visit there in July to Saudi Arabia, and have reduced the supply of oil, which I guess is impacting the diesel. Ah, I see, and that's quite interesting. Yeah, thank you. So I guess that's why the diesel prices might be going up and there may be more scarcity. That may well be right, Simon. I mean, I really don't know. But I mean, it doesn't surprise me if some manufacturers have higher power readings than others based on my own experience is all I'm saying. Oh no, not girls, please. It's a Saturday morning, girls. 3 girls and dear oh dear. Dear oh dear. Jane, how do we get rid of girls for you? No, girls for you. Girls S4XYZ. Come on. Come on. This is a sports channel. This is a channel that does not appreciate such things. Yeah. Middle-aged man on kicker bike getting dropped on Zwift. That's got to be the optimum place for girls S4 to advertise. It's all my grunting. Yeah, I guess it's an honour, isn't it? You're always being dropped, Marco. Yeah, get a Saris. Yeah, get a Saris, or get a kicker bike. And get 10 watts more. I don't know what the kicker core is like versus the Aciomas, because that's quite a popular one. Anyone that's got a kicker core, let us know. I know a lot of the titanium burritos, burrito titans, not titanium, but it is kind of titanium burritos because Ben set the team up. They use a lot of the kicker cores, as does Katie. Buy one, get one free. Yeah, I suppose I am in Lycra. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Come to Phil's parlour, his pain cave, where the Lycra girls S4 XYZ. Do not come on this channel again, girls X4 XYZ. Will not come on this channel. You know what I mean. Do not grace this channel with your sinister presence. Go and bother Putin or someone like that. Someone that deserves your attentions. Yeah, I think it's the heavy breathing, attacked in the wrong types, the Lycra, and obviously a pain cave. All of it comes together now in one horrendous symphony, a crescendo of, well, the light, to quote Winston Churchill, the lights of perverse science are shining on bike racing without mercy today. The dark, dark lights. Jane is not going to be happy at all. She will see you off, girls S4 XYZ. Jane will take you down. There we go. Look at that. 2 watts a kilogram. Yes. 2 watts a kilogram. They can't hear me. Oh, okay. It's a bot. Ah, yes. Yes, a bot. That makes sense. So that's even worse, isn't it? A girls XYZ S4 bot. Could there be anything less kind of attractive than that? A bot. Oh, stay here, and then we could. Well, we won't go and look at the power graph for that one, shall we? Oopsie daisy. Yeah. So yeah, tomorrow looking at some kind of a climbing race. If anyone fancies joining around about 9 or 10, I'll see what's going. There is one in Acterburn. Which is a personal, I say favourite. It's where you do the reverse KOM at Innsbruck and then forward KOM, and in between you do the town. I think that looks like a good place to test out the proper climbing capabilities of this bike. Oh, you suffered along with us today, did you, Craig? Nice one. How is your recovery coming along, sir? OnlyFans, is that right? Tristan, they got a lot of revenue, have they? You know what they say, where there's muck, there's money. Ah, that's very interesting, Paul. So, you're a 4.3i. What is a 4.3i? Is that a power meter that's on the crank, or is that on the pedals, or is it in the? There's different kinds of power meters. Full mobility, nice one. That's brilliant, beautiful. 3.6 billion. You're joking me. That is huge. That's like, oh dear, that's a grim reflection on society, isn't it? A grim reflection indeed. Dear, oh dear. I wonder if they... 3.6 billion. I mean, how do they generate 3.6 billion? Oh, right. So, okay, so right. So OnlyFans is about sport. It isn't about... sorry, I thought OnlyFans was like a version of Girls S4 XYZ. My apologies. It's just for athletes. So it's not... Okay. So OnlyFans is just for athletes. Is that right? Oh, it's not about sport. OnlyFans is not about sport. Oh, it's not about... Okay. I'm going to research OnlyFans just for future reference in case Girls XYZ turn up here. Is Girls XYZ owned by OnlyFans? I never thought I'd be talking about different sex channels on a live stream. But, you know, it seemed... Maybe ping pong. Oh dear. The crank left arm. Respect, Paul. Thank you for getting us back on track. Pay for play. Jesus. Oh dear, ping pong. Jane, rescue me. I promise you, Jane, I know nothing about any of these subjects. Nothing. The crank left arm. Oh dear, that is obtuse. I like that, Michael. Obtuse. Yeah, she's going to rugby tackle me off the kicker. Right, okay, enough. Oh dear. That's really good. We can get it back. Come on, let's recover it. Let's recover the training today. So, yeah, what am I going to talk about? Yeah, so we'll chat about economics, maybe a bit of politics tomorrow as I get dropped on the climbs. But yeah, I reckon Actoburn, if there's enough riders in it, if there's no riders in there to drop me, I'll find a different race. But Actoburn could be the way to go. I want to see what it's like on the climb. I want to see what the legs are like. I was up and out of the saddle in the back brace quite a lot on the climb out in California, and it was nice to be up and out of the saddle outdoors, even with the back brace. Reasonably hot. The new kicker roller found is amongst us. Let's send found positive energy. The new kicker roller, I've seen this, yeah. I don't think Jane's going to let me, in all honesty, found have another kind of device even in the pain cave. We shouldn't be talking about the pain cave, but it is quite tempting in many respects because I love the rollers, but what I worry about is am I ever going to get back on the rollers? Because I have fell off them many times. Certainly in the early days, I used to have a couple of bean bags placed to the side and a wall on my left, so that if I fell over, the rear derailleur wouldn't get broken, and obviously it would also, as a secondary at the time, suffer my own fall. Now, of course, I probably need many bean bags because I don't want to do the back in again. OnlyFans, yes, I think they may do, Janek. Yeah, that doorway indeed would be perfect. I mean, when I learnt on the rollers, I did it in between the doorway, and boy, when you learn on the rollers, do you need the doorway to kind of correct, shall we say correct some of the what would be falls. You just kind of lean into it a little bit. The rollers are sublime, in my opinion, for really getting used to riding a bike at the end of the winter. Yeah, the power is sort of tracking very consistently. Oh, say consistently. You can't see. Anyway, thank you all very much for joining. I massively appreciate it. Watching a middle-aged man get dropped on 3 races. Top 100 though. Top 100 on 3 of those races, and then absolute implosion on race 4. Next week, I hope to do a little bit better in the tiny races. This is going to be one of my regular VO2 max trainings. I may even do some bike swaps to make life a little bit easier. Oh yeah, I think the kicker core rollers, they fix the bike, don't they? Into position. So it gives you that kind of nice roller feeling. But do the kicker core rollers also adjust the resistance as the gradient changes? The same guy won 3 out of the 4 races. That's insane. No, Ian, I mean, I've started experimenting myself with my own training, based really on the lab results. I saw you commented in a GCN video where they were talking about, is FTP a decent metric upon which to set your training zones? And guess what? GCN's expert came to the same conclusion that Adam Isherwood at Oxford Laboratory has told me, that no, generally speaking, 95% of your 20-minute power will overestimate the power you can ride at, really, in terms of your threshold. The more trained the athlete and the closer to a pro in terms of fitness and capability you are, the closer that 95% will be. I think they figured out in a test of loads of athletes that a pro could ride at about 95% of their 20-minute power for a maximum 50 minutes. And the typical leisure athlete like us, or certainly me, could ride it like it for 30 to 35 minutes, which is what Adam was saying. And certainly anaerobic threshold is a physiological threshold. It isn't just a power number. FTP is your anaerobic threshold. And definitely my FTP would overestimate my anaerobic threshold. And so I typically take 90% of my 20-minute power after doing a hard 5-minute effort as well, to really run down some of the glycogen and tire the legs a little bit. And so I've started really basing my training off the lab results. And so this is why, in the rebuild, I've done a lot of basically riding at lactate threshold 1, my maximum endurance power. And then I've started doing threshold efforts like 2 times 20, 2 or 3 times 15 minutes at that anaerobic threshold. And now I'm building in VO2 max, either with these tiny races or once a week I'm going to do tempo at my lactate threshold 1, which is about 200, 210 watts, and every 2 minutes a VO2 max surge right at the top end, north of 300 now. So I reckon that will build all the power I need to take part in hopefully some of the climbing races and things like that. Yeah, proper. I mean, it was too tough for me today, Tristan, too tough. You did all 4, did you, Simon? Your first Cat A race. How did you find them? Ouch, indeed, yeah. But, I mean, Cat A has become much harder than when I started on Zwift, Simon. So, well done on getting up to Cat A. And I hope you do better in Cat A than me. I've always found it very difficult indeed. Yeah, I mean, 60 minutes at FTP is likely, you're riding well below your FTP, unless you're very, very fit. I mean, I'm actually quite lucky because I've got a high tolerance for lactate And so when my FTP has been, you know, allegedly on using the 20-minute test with a 5-minute effort before, like in a 290, 295 range, typically for the hour, outdoors and with the Asiomas, I'd ride in the 270. Once I've managed 280 for the hour at the velo circuit. That's quite interesting that Trainer Road's doing that. Yeah, I mean, FTP is certainly decent. The issue with FTP is, as I say, it probably overestimates what your true anaerobic threshold is. And when you're doing the longer efforts, like 15, 20 minutes, you're probably into VO2 max as a result of basing those sort of efforts on your FTP. And when you hit the climbs, what I was finding is I say, oh, my FTP is X, you know, it's like 290 watts. So if I ride a climb, a longer climb at like 290 watts, that's all going to be okay. And typically I'd be disappointed, I'd be like 10 watts below. Especially as you hit altitude, because then you've got to take the altitude into account. I find when I get above 1500 meters, the power comes down quite a lot. So for me, this is just personal, what I found in terms to ride for me faster outdoors, certainly on the longer climbs, that kind of stuff, the pacing is really essential. And so if you, in your head you have this FTP figure and you're trying to maximize your pace up the climbs, I think you're setting yourself up for disappointment from day one. At the same time, what Adam will also say is, by setting your zones as percentages of FTP, you're doubling down on the potential error. Because certainly for me, my lactate threshold 1, my maximum endurance power, is a lot higher than the sort of zone 1, zone 2, so the zone 2 kind of range that would be derived from FTP. I know it sounds really boring, but this kind of stuff interests me because the physiology really does matter. And that's why I'm always looking at, if I'm on a threshold effort, is the heart rate elevated and the breathing elevated but sustainable? Do I feel able to clear just about the lactate from my legs? If so, then I'm confident, then I'm just below my proper anaerobic threshold or FTP. But if I feel like I'm burning out and it's just pain from 10 minutes in, then I know I'm above my anaerobic threshold or FTP. So for me, this stuff matters. But the more you are on in terms of sprint orientated and crit orientated, I think the less it matters, because it's that top end power. Rui, how's it going, sir? What's that? Kikakora is for amateurs. yeah. Well, I am indeed an amateur, so I think it's fitting that I have a Kicker Corsa. Yeah, I mean, is the Kicker 6 good? Have you just got that? It's only just come out, has it not? The ex-Earl of London. Yeah, the Earl of London. I wish. I do miss London, I've got to say. We've kind of moved to Hertfordshire, where I was born, where I went to school, all this kind of stuff. And Jane didn't really want to come. And we've got a grown-up house and all that kind of stuff, but I actually preferred living in a flat. I don't, we've got too much space here, and then there's gardens and there's upkeep and maintenance that you've got to think about. It's too grown up. I prefer smaller, a smaller space. A 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 Oh yeah, I'm not on a Kicker Core, so I'm on a Kicker bike. That's right. Rui's got the Kicker Core version 6. I get all of them mixed up. I kept calling the Kicker bike a What Bike Atom for a while in the start of the stream. Where have I been? I've been on holiday, Rui. I went to Palm Springs, which is really nice, and then California. Sorry, Palm Springs is California. Then Napa. Because I got injured, all the holiday I was going to take for some of the cycling events and with Jane all got cancelled, and so I had to go sort of around October, which wasn't very good from a work perspective because work is full on at this time of year, so I had to keep working basically. But we've been in California. It's a proper smart trainer, the V6. Do you have the version 6 as well, fan? There's London and England, yeah, I think so. I think I've lived in London so long that it feels sort of strange not to have stuff automatically on your doorstep. Yeah, well, hopefully, Michael. Hopefully, it's nice to be near my family, my mum, and my kids are near, albeit being my daughter's now at university. Wow, you got a very, very good price on it. Well, you say that, Rui, but it depends if you want to put your bike on the Kicker, because when you put your bike on the Kicker, you kind of stress the frame, and you obviously wear out all the group set, and so a lot of people end up putting a second bike on the Kicker, or indeed the Saris or whatever else they're using. And so when you take into account the cost of the bike and all the parts and the stress on the bike, it always seemed to me more convenient and good value to get the What Bike Atom. And I got this at 30% discount because they've now got the version 2, so I got it for 2,100, I think, which is a lot of money, far too much money, but to my money, it's better than putting a Colnago or Villiers on the Kicker, because that will really wear them out. But each to their own. Yeah, I'm getting this. I'm selling the Watt bike. yeah. Then I'll ride my bike. Yeah, that's a very good point. I mean, yeah, Rui, you're always right. Always right. Oh, you should always look at Rui's comments in the chat on the videos that I release. I definitely agree with the fact that you're investing in your health. The one thing I would say is I spend very little money on like drinking and eating out and things like that. I do prefer the simple pleasures. So when we went to Napa, I'm not like one of these, nor is Jane, that wants to go and eat in all the fine dining restaurants and do lots and lots of wine tastings and things like that. The countryside is really beautiful in Napa, and we go to the gym, an American gym. You're kind of a bit off the clock in terms of work. Hire a bike and go and ride that off the clock, as it were. That for me is luxury. It's the ability to enjoy fitness, whether it's in a gym or whether it's outside, and enjoy health while it's there. Because as we all know, many of us who are older, whether it's an accident or illness, health is not to be taken for granted. And that is proper luxury. Now I ride, now I'm going to try it. I'm going to try this. I'm just going to call up. Right, here we go, Rui. Here we go. Right, I'm going to be very gentle here. Very gentle, because it hasn't always worked this. Here we go. Oh no. No, surely not. It's broken again. I was being gentle. Here we go. Why does it do this every time? Oh, webcam. Right, USB camera. I know it's just disappeared. There we go. Right. Every time I move this, it seems. Like, so this is my. Oh, can you? 1 second. 1 second. There we go. There. Right. So here's my setup. So completely unused. Oh no, it's disappeared again. Why is it doing this? It shouldn't be this way. 1 second. Sorry. Right, USB camera, OBS virtual camera. Now let's go back to USB camera. There we go. There we go. Just gentle. It's like we're watching wildlife here. Like we're watching wildlife. There we go. So you can see there's the rollers. So normally over the winter I love the rollers, and the Conago goes in the rollers. Then my favourite of all, this is my favourite, without a shadow of a doubt, this is my favourite training machine. Forget any indoor bike or anything like that. The air power of the Wattbike Pro generates fitness like nothing else. The only downside to it is it's not smart, so the resistance doesn't change as the gradient changes on Zwift or anything like that. And so you do have the luxury of a consistent cadence, which is what you don't get in the real world. Then, very gently, in this ecosystem here, this technical ecosystem, Jane has a rower, a Concept 2 rower. I never use that. It's far too difficult, far too much pain. Still got the Generation 2 Atom. Jane will use that a lot. I will use that still, because I still love the Wattbike. And then very gently, just getting off here, we have the Kicker Core. No, not the Kicker Core, sorry. I've already called it wrong. The Kicker Bike. So these are my devices. And I know it seems excessive. I do have a dream of one day inviting people to train here, because I've got a gym downstairs to combine strength and cardiovascular exercise to get people, older people probably, like, you know, well, anyone that wants to come, but I think it would be older people, into shape in terms of fitness, cardio and strength. Because for me, I don't care what anybody says in the cycling world about strength not being necessary. If you want longevity, to avoid injury, all this kind of stuff, obviously don't fall off your bike like I did, but strength is your friend. And as soon as I am properly able to train again and have the back brace off, I'm going straight up to Phil Burt in Manchester to start a physiotherapy so that I can properly start strength training again. It is, for my mind, integral to any fitness plan. No! We've had girls XYZ S4, and now we have sex find. This is not right. I've never had this before. Is that right? So, having had the Wattbike, yeah, I remember you've said in the comments you've had the Wattbike. The V6 is like riding outdoors without the elements. The Wattbike you didn't like at all. Yeah, I think I would agree with you that certainly I think this kicker feels a bit more realistic than the Atom 2, but I love the Atom 2. The Atom 2 for me, it's well priced, it's proper reliable, the service is excellent from Wattbike, and it has been, what we've just been discussing, it was the most life-changing purchase I have made in recent time. It was £1,650 when I bought it in August 2018. And as a result of it, I found cycling, I found this community, I've been fit, I've seen countryside in the UK that I'd have never dreamed of finding, because I don't like walking. I rediscovered the Lake District, Snowdonia, the west of England, the Peak District. I've been to Europe, I've done climbs, I've whether it's Switzerland now, or do check out the video on Switzerland or route, it's beautiful, or France or Italy. As a result of that watt bike, or the Generation 1, my life has been so much richer, and in terms of an investment in health, it's turned into an investment in life. And what I really would say to anybody that's thinking about getting into Zwift or cycling, whether it's the V6 Kicker, which really is certainly very, very appreciative of, and certainly a lot of people I know love the V5 as well, and the Kicker are very good on the service. If it goes wrong, they replace it. Whether you start indoor cycling and get outside, or whether you start outdoor cycling and come inside, it is not just an investment in fitness and in health. It is investment in personal well-being, mental well-being, and it is investment, if you go and explore the countryside, in something sublime. For me, the ability to ride, whether it's 30, 50, 100 kilometers, and climb and look at views and vistas and share that with friends and sometimes family when Jane's on the e-bike, is properly life-changing. Oh, you're talking about the Kicker rollers. Sorry, fan. Yeah, the Kicker rollers, I would say exactly the same. It'll give you a realistic feel. The rollers, well, I've adored riding the rollers, so I can assume the Kicker rollers are incredible. Yeah, cheers, Roo. Yeah, I agree. Thank you. I really appreciate you saying that. Yeah, cycling is life-changing. Exploring is life-changing. Adventure. These are all small little adventures that we have. Really, I know I have the YouTube channel and all that kind of stuff. My little adventures are inconsequential to really what many people can do on a bike, let alone beyond the bike. But the adventures we have on the bike, inconsequential though they are to other people, are life affirming and beyond special. They nurture well-being. You look forward to them. Good weather, bad weather. It's just, I can't explain it. I am not really doing it justice. But when you're out there and suddenly you get a good day, you get nice weather, you get the vistas, the mountains, the little cafe stops, you see stuff that you'd never ever think existed. And that's why over the winter it's amazing to train, because then you've got fitness that you can deploy outside for adventure. Whether you hire a bike or it is a bit of a pain taking a bike, so sometimes hiring is as good. It's just, as a cyclist, you get to traverse a lot of terrain, more than any walker, but you still get that personal involvement in the terrain. You can stop easily at any point, much better than going in a car or a bus or something like that to see the scenery. Breathing in the air, hearing all the noises, smelling the pine, smelling the fresh alpine air, feeling the cold in the lungs as you're descending, heart rate high and hot, but motivated by the vistas as you're climbing. That kind of perfection of looking into a hairpin bend, looking around it, what's going to come around it, and then looking over your shoulder to see the vista behind you as you come up. That's why I do so many shots from either Paul Hamblet or Jane looking back. It's not to look back at me, it's to show the vistas. It's beyond luxury, and it's accessible. Whether you have £1,000 bike, whether you hire a bike, or whether you've got an expensive bike, it makes no odds. I mean, I would say a lot of the hire bikes I use are like lower end. I have just as much fun on those. I think in reality, I've bought plenty of money on bikes, spent plenty of money on bikes, as you can see indoors. But a mechanical bike that's reliable, reliability I prize over everything. You know, I'll take that as luxury. Yeah, I'm going to try the Wahoo. That I am going to try, Ree, because you can link it to what was RGT, I believe, and you've got the ability to do loads of climbs with the intervals that don't exist on Zwift. So I'm definitely going to try that. Enjoy the dog walking, Dave. Great to see you. Anyway, the reason for the new trainer, just so that I can get better at climbing indoors so I can enjoy outdoors. The kicker bike goes up and down, and it was 30% off, so it looked reasonable. Anyway, my apologies for the rant, but great discussion about the different trainers, and you know, hopefully people sort of generally agree as to what we can get out of cycling. Really appreciate you all joining us today. No, not back in the gym yet. I'm doing light conditioning work in the gym, but I'm not able to do the things that I really love, like deadlifting, and I can't even. I do stretching. I do basically high rep bench press, body weight squats. I've just bought a little sissy squat to do body weight squats, wearing the back brace. Nothing, no weight on the body, just to try and really get the core and the quads and the hamstrings and the glutes firing. RGT, yeah, I'm gonna give it a good go, Chris, for sure. Yeah, so yeah, as soon as I've seen Phil Burt, I'm gonna get back in the gym. Oh, Wahoo Fitness is different, is it? Okay, I need to look into this, Ree. My apologies. I will look into that properly. What the difference between Wahoo Fitness and Wahoo System. Sorry, I thought it was one of the. Well, didn't even know they had different names. So Wahoo Fitness in ERG mode. Just open in Wahoo. Is that an app that I have to download on Wahoo Fitness, Ree? See, once again, chaos reigns. Okay, I'm going to look into it properly. Wahoo Fitness, I'm going to research it. Right, anyway, I'm going to shoot. I've got a bit of work to do, but please do check out the Hort Route video. Switzerland completely blew me away. I'm doing a Hort Route Crans Montana I've just signed up to in June next year, and that's how much I adored Switzerland. Beautiful part of the world. It's stunning. Is, you know, cowbells, everything. It was just life affirming, as I say. But anyway, have a really nice Saturday, everybody. If you can check us out on tomorrow, please do. If not, have a lovely weekend. Look forward to seeing you all. Take care, and thank you ever so much for the support. It's massively appreciated. Cheers. Oh, okay. Yeah, will do. Thank you, Marco. Oh, you're going. Oh, you have a flat rented there for a week. Rui, the land of milk, honey, and beautiful vineyards. Whereabouts in Italy? Anyway, enjoy. Speak to you all later. Cheers, Dave. Take care all. God, this is not slick, is it? Nice one, Gerald. Thank you very much. Your zone 290 is going to build proper endurance fitness. Beautiful. See you all. Thank you, Agnes. Take care. I really am going to end the stream now, so my apologies. Take care. Au revoir. End stream. There we go.